Everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is our segment of Each One Teach One, and I'm just checking in with you guys and focusing on and seeing if you are focusing on your goals. I know we talked about this before, but it's a fantastic way to bring our acknowledge what we need to do to the podcast because for me, basically, I know that I'm always setting goals for myself. Um, I can't say what somebody else is doing or should be doing or is or isn't doing. I can only encourage you to try and do whatever you need to do. And I hope that you get, your goals, you set your goals and you start trying to reach them. But I just thought I would give you guys an opportunity to basically um, get a little support from me, Dina Marie, your host. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. But when it comes to attaining goals, just here's some valuable tips that I like to go by and I want to share with you. So I set clear and specific goals. I define my goals in a clear and specific way. If I want to get up today, meditate, uh, wash the dishes, do the laundry. I prioritize all of these things in a way that allows me to, first of all, I have to process it mentally because I cannot do something if I don't see it. And a lot of times, seeing it for me is not necessarily me seeing it immediately, but it is a visual process that I create mentally. And I said, okay, now I'm rearranging the living room, and I can see this being over there, this being over there, so on and so forth. So basically, that's what happens. I visualize the way the room is going to be. And from there, I then start visualizing what do I need to move first to put this there, and so on and so forth. So I try to make things happen in such a way that it is not only conducive to what I'm doing at the moment, where I'm the direction of the room, whatever it is, but I define my goals in a clear, specific way. And then I know exactly what I want to achieve and how I'm going to get there easier, the easiest way. So I plan and I stay focused. And I'm very driven and very focused on what I want. And so when it comes down to your plans, are you driven? Are you focused? Are you doing all the things that you think you should be doing? And if not, what more can you do? That's one thing. But I like to break down goals into smaller steps because sometimes they can get overwhelming, right? Like looking for a new home. I know it's going to be overwhelming because LA, not only is it um, congested, but this is not like a place I've ever been before. A lot of times you go and you hit up an apartment complex or a property management company, say, hey, I want to rent the house at 1200 Main. So somebody meets you, you look at the house. If you like it, you fill out an application, put a deposit to hold it, and then you pay your move in and prepare to move. Here in LA, a lot different because many times you go to a place and there are like 101,000 people there that also want to live there. Okay. And in the process of them wanting to live there, someone can outbid you, even though, you know, whether you're buying a house or renting a house. Okay. And the funny thing about it is buying a house. Let's say this house is appraised at $300,000, but most houses here, I mean, 300 is a good price, but it's not doable in most cases. And most of the houses here start off at $1 million, and that $1 million only gets you a piece of a house. It ain't even, some people may have done some refurbishing prior to them moving, but basically they know that the competition is steep, so nobody really. There are some people that invest their time and money in their home or whatever to make sure that it comes out nice for the next person. But most of the time, as I'm saying, if you go to this house and you take $300,000, you're like, oh shoot, I'm getting a house today. Well, I hate to disappoint you, but you get there and somebody outbids you, and they say they're going to pay 350, 400, 500,000 for a house only worth 300,000. But that's because they have the money. You know what I mean? Rich people don't talk about money. High rich people, and I'll be there one day. I'm not worried about that. I enjoy reaching my goals more than anything. And so, with that being said, that is part of the overwhelming part of looking for something here is because you can go and get outbid, even if you're renting. I don't know that to be the case for renters in an apartment or whatever, but it could very well be the case. Money talks, you know what walks. So, with that being said, I have to break things down into smaller steps. So I divide my big goals into smaller goals that are manageable. And then at that point, once I find that the tasks that I'm making are manageable, then I can approach them basically, with a less of an overwhelming um, flow, because it allows me to track and progress more effectively what I'm doing. So sometimes, one of the things that I'm finding out about myself lately is that, if I take one day and I go out driving, baby, I'm Ubering, excuse me, so sorry guys. Then that whole day will have been for work, but the next day I may or may not be having very much energy. So I'm asking those of you, I've said this before, anybody listening, please hit me up and let me know what your options or what the options are to kind of boost my energy. I meant to ask my doctor today, but I forgot because she was 30 minutes late coming on to my video visit, and then she kind of rushed me through my visit, even though my visit probably was only a 5 minute visit. It still was, I wanted to ask her, oh, what can I take to boost my energy level? So I'll ask her, but um, I'm getting my sugars down. Um, Last week we talked about the Freestyle Libre, which was really awesome because through the whole week, I just let it keep my blood sugar and it continuously keeps it. And so now I'm more in the green than I was in the orange or red, but occasionally I might eat something and put me up there. But again, it's not that you can't eat what you want. You just have to be moderate with it and take care of yourself. But anyway, back to our goals topic. Today, again, this is Dina Marie on Dina Marie Live, and we're talking about setting goals. I'm checking in with you to make sure you're focusing on your goals. And if you're focusing on your goals, what is it that you are setting for yourself? I'm sharing some of the things with you that help me to attain my goals. And one of another one of the things that I like to do is I like to create a plan. Prior planning prevents poor performance. I used to love saying that. The three P's. It was always a surefire winner on an interview. But with that being said, I do. I am an avid planner. I take after my dad. I know, in many ways, but I like to create a plan, and I developed such a detailed plan of action that I began to outline my steps. I also decide what I need to take and reach each one of those goals. But it's like a roadmap that I keep as I keep going through each goal and seeing if I'm on track. And if I am on track, it helps me to stay motivated because motivation is one of the things that you definitely need sometimes when you're going through your goals and trying to reach what you're trying to reach. And here in LA, it is a very good place to be when you talk about goals and people reaching and setting them because you see people around you constantly reaching them and setting them. So it's a really good place to be to at least, see their persistence, But this kind of like leads me into my next um, tip that I have, which is to stay committed and persistent. Pursuing my goals, they require dedication and persistence. But sometimes I have to be prepared just to face maybe challenges or setbacks. But like they say, a setback is a setup for a comeback. I always like reading that. A setback is a setup for a comeback. So you can't give up, guys. You have to stay committed to your vision. And, I always say things are working out for me. Now, when I say that, I'm not listing how I think they're working out. I just know they're working out. I don't know exactly how they're working out, but I know that they are working out. So I stay committed to my vision based on my motivation to myself that I know things are working out for me. Also, visualizing my success. Now, Tony Roma, Abraham Hicks, a lot of different um, mentors teach you about visualization and the manifestation of your visualization. And visualization of success is very important for me because I imagine myself achieving my goal, and visualizing my success is only boosting my confidence. That's basically what it's doing, and keeping me motivated just to make it easier that while I stay focused and on my journey. Because each one of us, as we always say, has our own journey. So that's one of the ways that I feel is a huge success in keeping you motivated and on task is to visualize your success. Stay positive and believe in yourself. If don't nobody else believe in me, I believe in me. And I love being a motivation to anyone that I speak to, someone that I love and I care about. Every day, I tell my son, I love you. You got this. You're great. I'm proud of you because I love being a motivation to him. He then says it back to me. And I love hearing when he says it back to me because, again, motivation is a definite winner when it comes down to seeking what you need to get where you need to go. Stay focused, everybody. Focus forward. Love it, love it, love it. Focus forward. That's a new saying that I picked up. So, when you visualize and imagine your success and your goals, it helps you to stay focused on your journey. But you also want to, again, like I said, cultivate a positive mindset and believe in your abilities. Self belief is crucial because you're trying to overcome obstacles, as we talked about, perhaps. So the only way to stay motivated is to be positive and not be so hard on yourself, but believe in yourself. Now, by like manner, hold yourself accountable. Take some responsibility for your actions. If you know that you're not doing anything to pursue your goals, speak it and then deal with it so that you don't have to have it be something that keeps haunting you. Because if you lie about it, it's going to keep chasing you. That's all I will say. I learned accountability, and I remember every year when me and my son was growing up, I would teach him that there was going to be scenarios that he would have to be accountable for because accountability is huge, especially as a man, when you're learning things, and as a woman. I mean, I'm not uh, justifying one over the other. I'm just sharing with you that men usually have bigger responsibilities when it comes down to their families. So, accountability is important. The responsibility for whatever actions you have for your progress or your lack of progress are important. You got to hold yourself accountable. It's going to help you in the long run to be disciplined. And I will say that for myself, and I'm not plugging myself. I'm just sharing with you because this is my segment that's called Each One Teach One. So I like to share with you things that I learned. I'm not talking just solely about myself. I'm hopefully helping you to incorporate this in about you. But basically, when we talk about being accountable, it helps me to stay disciplined. And it's necessary that if along the way I need to make some adjustments, I can do that because I was like, oh, you know what? I was supposed to such and such and so, and I did not. Oh my goodness, why not? Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So bottom line, keep hold yourself accountable. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know your secret or that you're basically making yourself be responsible for something that it did or did not do adequately. you know. But for those of us, sometimes I need support. I need to call my sister or call my friend, excuse me, up, and I say, this is how I'm feeling. Blah, 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 blah. But don't hesitate to ask for that help or seek guidance from mentors or friends, like I said, even professionals, somebody that succeeded in whatever it is you want to do. Because they have networks that are now supportive for them, and they don't mind being supportive for you. They can provide you valuable insight as well as more encouragement because you're giving yourself some encouragement. But now you have friends and people that you look up to that will also encourage you. But most of all, learn from your failures. It's not going to go unnoticed that you may have failed and not succeeded in something you wanted to, but that's the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? You have to embrace those failures because they're opportunities for you to grow and learn from. And if we don't use them for that, then we spend so much time wasting trying to figure out how to get back on track, because now we've gotten so far off the Richter that we can't figure out what we need to do. But you need to analyze where we're wrong and just make those minor tweaks and adjustments, but use that experience to improve any new approach you have. Because if you look at it from a perspective of, oh wow, I should have went left. Now I see it, you know. So basically, with that being said, this, even though we have to learn from our failures, it's definitely an improvement for you in the long run. Okay. And finally, celebrate your achievements. I love taking myself out for a drink or a steak or a piece of chocolate cake or a movie. It doesn't even have to be food. I celebrate all my milestones and achievements. Now, I'm going to be accountable a little bit because I may not do it all the time, because when you're working and grinding and trying to keep on top, sometimes you don't have time to stop and parlay. But it is important, no matter what you do. Maybe you buy yourself a new dress, and I do that a lot. I love doing that. No matter how small it is, it might be $9.99 or $99.99. Whatever it is, I you know, make sure that I celebrate my achievements, and I think the weakness, not the weakness, but the what I'm not doing is labeling when I make a purchase that this is a celebration of my achievement. So, and I, until now, while I'm talking to you guys about it, I didn't really think about it, but I guess I should start putting it in perspective and saying, hey, I'm acknowledging my progress, because it's going to boost my confidence, my motivation, but it also is going to reinforce me and keep me determined. And it will work, I promise you. But you know what? I do recognize, I really respect you guys, love you guys, appreciate those of you who take the time to listen to me, because this is hard. It's hard, but I want to succeed at it, and I'm going to succeed, and I want you to be there when I succeed, but I can't make you be there when I succeed. You know what I'm saying? And only I can be the one to venture in my journey to make the success. But as I'm going, everyone's journey, towards their goals are unique, and it's essential that we adapt to what we need to do to make them, to be able to achieve them, and just stay open to change along the way. That's hard in itself sometimes, because you may not want to think about having to change a technique or the way you do something, but just stay open to change. So I hope that by me sharing my favorite tips on my Each One Teach One segment today about you keeping on task with your goals, and me, how I keep on task with my goals, I hope that they inspire you and that they help you to take proactive steps towards attaining your dreams. And I want to wish you all a wonderful good luck with you're achieving your goals. And please check in with me from time to time. I would love to hear about it. Okay. So, again, I am going to move on to our next and final segment of Rep Your City, where we're talking about Seville, Spain. I cannot wait to get some stamps on my passport. But I'll be right back after this, guys. I'm going to get a drink. I'll be right back. Water. Thank you. I'll be right back.